locked.
Are you sure about that?
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Toby? Oh, I can't see anything. Why do anything?
Phonograph used for voice recording.
Yes, this is quite a...
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
What's this one?
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Yeah. Evidence required.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
You know what? That's odd. One of the suits.
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here. Such masks are generally worn. Gloves. Waterproofing.
Do they grow?
I would assume they grow stuff, yeah. Oh god, I'm so sorry, I'm gassy today.
A botany book.
Eh.
This student's book belongs to
Albert. God.
Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
Oh, well, that was, you know.
Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't...
It does not matter.
We will open it. That is a very fucking complicated lock. Jesus, okay. Da, 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 da. You saw nothing.
Open.
Let's look in
Miss
here.
White's locker.
Look at that nice little hat.
Apparently, Miss White. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to...
Also, they have decided that their cars are proven to be more expensive than anticipated. I fear therefore I'm not going to be able to manage it long term. I know that we have our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to file a study due to lack of money? Margaret. Ooh, jewelry box. Ooh. Ooh.
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
Purse?
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
A makeup bag. Margot, we were surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money after all these years that you have passed since you left and without any thought of us? You have never shared with us the details of your success at the university, but you choose to do so now. We suppose you must be ashamed of us. for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we have done, as we at home have always done. And none of us would compromise their reputation, as it appears you have already with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret. It is you who makes us feel ashamed. Your parents. Dear Margaret, I know how your financial troubles are overwhelming you at this present time. Please let me reassure you that I could not permit you to remain in such a dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honor if you would accept my help. Your devoted servant, Albert. Servant?
Martin Hamish's locker.
That's a nice hat.
Father and I, Kew Gardens. A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Mr. General Secretary, recently first of all, unfortunately, Kew Gardens will advise me to renew my application for management positions. I have stated already in my previous letters I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Mr. Montague Downs was alive, I understood your reservations for my suggestions. Your reasons are political, and I was so happy to comply. But now the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of an inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision in a matter of urgency, so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead, and free my mind from this uncertainty.
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
That scared the living crap out of me. Watson. Now let's see Albert's.
Albert's locker.
That's a nice hat.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
Oh.
Young Albert, standing with a woman in front of London University. Young...
Okay, fine. Refusal
A
letter.
rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry, we are not able to invite you into the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Dunn, has expressed his intentions to entrust it with money. Oh. Poor man. I wasn't in anywhere. You don't know nothing.
Locked.
No, it's not, you lie.
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
I knew the nursery for plants. Oh, look at this evil little school.
A thesis, written by Martin. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as...
Oh, it's just open. Is that a doctor's bag? Why is there a doctor's bag in here? Level 2. What does it here?
The seeds of plant species are stored here.
Oh, how cute and tiny they are. Look, they're so babies, they're so young. Oh, they're so young.
Locked.
It's not locked.
Seed. Open.
Oh. Margaret?
day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Watson.
Why, thank you, sir.
Steady boy.
And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
No. Oh god. She looks like she would be. She looks like she would be. I don't know. You smelled her. Am I missing something here? There we go. So am I missing something here? Thief of plants.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
The incident?
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Right. Emptied colossal collection?
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
No, what do you work here?
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
The relationship with the director?
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic, and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies
Morning,
without
Doc. How you doing?
disturbing him.
Hope you're
It is
doing
only
good.
temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Someone is lying. Do I have any clues? Nope, no, okay. No more clues from the last time. Alright. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. I'll go this way. Had an interview at the dealership yesterday about the only good thing going for me. Oh, sorry to hear that. I hope you do get this. Is it a job? It's a job, because if the job is an interview for a job, I'm an idiot.
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
Alright. Move out the way! Watson! Deduction time! Okay. Really? None of these go together? Really? have all this evidence that don't link. I like having clues that don't link. Now, fetch Toby. I like little Toby. Toby is cute. Toby is like the little dog that I would just like, just would like boot the nose. I would boot that nose. I would boot that nose. Hello, little one.
Someone should take Toby for a walk. Have you found something interesting?
Hello,
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do.
Oh, I love
Let us
little
go to Kew Gardens.
Oh, I love little Toby. Little Toby's adorable. Little Toby is just adorable. He's just the sweetest little button nuzzer. Look at him. Look at him. I'm a cat girl. Like, I'm a cat girl all the way. But Toby is just the sweetest little thing. Look at him. Just look at him. The best nosed in the United Kingdom. Are you ready? This is why I
Let
like
us
Toby.
take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance. Search, Toby. Search.
Look at him. No. That's literally as fast as he goes. Bless. Dip 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 dip. Really? Wow. No, someone.
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
That's probably analysis.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
I love little Toby. Little Toby is just I like little Toby. I like little Toby. Little Toby is nice. Kew Gardens.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all.
Okay.
And it was all my father's work. For Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Let's see if I can talk to Albert, because I can.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea.
Oh dear.
He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Let's see if we... Oh, I don't know what that was. No, no, no! Okay. Why can't I run all of a sudden? There you go. I'm gonna see if I can get this catch as much as possible. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can...
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
Yeah, because they are... baby plants. Well, what you're gonna do is I'm gonna play as much of this case as I possibly can, even if I go over the 2-hour mark.
Locked.
The problem is, because of the fact that...
Poor Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
Okay, right. So I'm assuming... Yeah, analysis. Okay. Find a use. Search archives. Find a use. Right. Let's go back to Baker Street. You know, doing all that. So let's go to the analysis table.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis. This is the bottle that we found. A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
Oh.
Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you.
Oh.
Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination.
Oh.
This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Yeah. I know I have time, Mark. That I have a lot of. It's patience I don't have. What's it in research? Let's see. Ah, there you are.
Here it is. The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
Right, let's see. then to research.
Here it is.
See. So now I just have 2 to find a use for. Let's see. Right. So actually, let's do. BRB, gotta go run some errands. Hope you'll be back soon. Okay, dog. Be safe. Right. Let's search everywhere this time.
Locked.
Oh dear. Wow. Okay. Okay. Oh, bollocks. Okay, interesting lock. Fuck, okay. There we go. That was actually quite difficult. My dear friends, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world and save the most extraordinarily precious and rare species of plant. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for a deleterious purpose. This divine syndicate of whom you speak to has no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889. So I must respectfully ask you to once again to notarize the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. These documents were sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in the bottles on Tuesday as always. Montague Dunn. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our sisters. You do not have the right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we would not elaborate. That was reported in the press in the press as the case of June 14th, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Debt of Miss Margaret White to Mr. Donahue. Rental of of a suite of rooms in Oxford Street, an educational scholarship at the London University. Credits open at Hampton Regal House, Taylor's, and at luxury jewelers. Oh dear. We got done on Miss Margaret.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Odd.